Hi! Now, things might change for satellite communication service providers operating in Kenya, such as the American company Starlink. Here is why. The Kenyan government, through its communications regulator, CA, plans to raise the license fees for the rights it gives companies like Starlink. Per new proposal CA published in December, Kenya seeks to review the satellite landing rights, also known as SLR, license it requires companies to obtain in order to land their signal in Kenya. CA seeks to raise the SLR initial license fees from the current $12,500 which is about 1.6 million Kenyan shillings, to 15 million Kenyan shillings. The regulator further wants to introduce an annual operating fee of 4 million shillings, or 0.4% of the company's annual gross turnover, whichever is higher. Stakeholders have until January 23 to submit their comments on the proposals, which CA plans to implement in the 2025-2026 financial year. CA says the review is meant to address and remove certain market entry and operational barriers identified over time. In the same breath, there is something called the Submarine Cable Landing Rights, or SCLR license, which it gives to companies that lay submarine cable systems passing under the sea into the mainland. CA plans to merge this SCLR license with the SLR license to create a new category called the Landing Rights License, or the LRL. The LRL license will apply to anyone seeking to set up terrestrial cables that only transit Kenya, destined to neighboring countries, satellite hubs exclusively serving clients outside of Kenya, and other satellite services like telemetry, space research, and meteorological aids. Now, in addition to the initial license fee and annual operating fee, companies will be required to pay a 5,000 shillings application fee for the license, whose term is 15 years. Alongside Starlink, other satellite service providers operating in Kenya are the US-based Visocom and Viasat, Skynet by Telcom, and NTVsat, which is from Germany. Now, we have to revisit the backdrop of protests by some existing players in Kenya's internet market, in which these new proposals come. Starlink, which is owned by the world's richest man Elon Musk, launched in Kenya in July of 2023, taking on companies like Safaricom, Telcom, Fiber, and Zuku, who use fiber optic technology. The American company has increasingly offered competitively priced internet packages and better speed, which has seen it become the country's 10th largest internet service provider. As of June of last year, CA data showed Starlink had over 8,000 subscribers. In November, the company even suspended new subscriptions in Nairobi and neighboring Kiambu, Machakos, Narok, Murang'a, and Nakuru regions, citing a network capacity overload due to increased demand. That gives you a picture of the reception Starlink received in the Kenyan market. In June of 2024, Safaricom wrote to the Communications Authority asking it to reevaluate its decision to grant licenses to satellite internet service providers. The company dominates the local fixed broadband internet market at 36.7% and urged the regulator to review its decision to grant independent licenses to satellite service providers. Safaricom warned of threats of illegal connections and what it called harmful interference to mobile network operators. While CA did not publicly respond to Safaricom's request, President William Ruto in September praised Starlink's entry into Kenya for creating competition, which he said has caused existing players to provide better services. Safaricom CEO Peter Ndegwa was then quoted by Bloomberg News as saying the telecoms giant was open to a partnership with Starlink. It should be mentioned that in 2023, Safaricom said it was working towards introducing satellite internet services. Ndegwa later told NTV in October that there was no deal on the table with Starlink yet.
There's no deal on the table yet, so I can't comment on whether or not in future we would have a deal. We would only get into a deal where it complements our investment and also it adds value to the experience and what we can give to our customers.
So tell us, what do you think about these new proposals and how do you think these satellite providers might react? Tell us in the comments below.